What's up, everybody? It's pretty late. This is the man, former Pennsylvania State Constable Stephen Wiggs of the 16th Ward, Allentown, Pennsylvania. And I was asked to do this little video to clarify what happened in Pennsylvania with regards to me in the Pennsylvania State Police. I'm going to briefly walk you through a few key points that actually talks to my issue in New Jersey. One of the main things about the New Jersey situation that relates to Pennsylvania is the fact that there is a common denominator between the two. And the common denominator, in my case, between New Jersey and Pennsylvania is the Pennsylvania State Police. Why? Why is the police of the Pennsylvania State Police such a big deal in my case in New Jersey? Well, what I have here is a copy of, well, the light is blaring, so it's none other than the dispositions that I've already showed many people. Okay? So it's the same documents. It's the same document. You know, this document here is the court order from the judge in Philadelphia County ordering my property to be returned back from the Pennsylvania State Police and the Commonwealth. What property did they have to return? Well, let's read here. As I already pointed out and shown the people, it's the same document from the Common Pleas Court, Philadelphia. Okay, what does it say? It says, now this 18th day of June, it is hereby ordered that the Pennsylvania State Police and the Commonwealth shall forthwith return to the defendant in the same condition as they were taken, his vehicle that is marked Pennsylvania State Constable Police, both of his firearms, and all other personal property that the Pennsylvania State Police or the Commonwealth took from him in connection with either of the arrests. Now, when you read the order from the judge giving the state police and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to return these items, then that would automatically indicate that the Pennsylvania State Police charged me with impersonating. Okay? They charged me, or I was arrested on July 18th, 2018 for impersonating a public servant. It's the same crime. Impersonating a police officer or impersonating a public servant is the same charge. Okay? In New Jersey, they'll call it impersonating a police officer. In Pennsylvania, we call it impersonating a public servant. It's the same charge. Okay? But check it. On 8, which is August 20th, 2018, that charge was dismissed. Okay? And then they charged me again. Okay? They charged me again for the same crime, impersonating a public servant. The first time they charged me with this crime, they charged me because they didn't think that I was a constable for whatever reason. I'm not going to get into all that. There is a reason, but I'm not going to get into it. really pointless. But the second time they charged me and arrested me was September 27th. September 27th, 2018. On this day, I was actually going to receive documents to go back to court in the Criminal Justice Center in Philadelphia. And I was arrested by a corporal with the aid of the Philadelphia Sheriff's Department. Okay. I was charged with my firearms again, and this time he arrested me because they didn't think that constables were police officers. Now, in the first charge of impersonating I got hit with, they didn't think I was a constable. So, very quickly, that got thrown out because they found out very quickly I was a constable. The second time I got charged with impersonating a public servant was because I had the word police on my uniform. So the troopers didn't think that constables were police officers. It's ridiculous because I actually have literature from their own criminal justice code book, their criminal justice booklet that they carry with them in their vehicles. And inside of it, it has literature that identifies a constable as police officers in their own book. Okay? So that charge got thrown out. They charged me twice, both times, for my firearms. Now, I've read to you the order from the judge. The order was talking about both charges and all of the charges that they hit me with. Okay? So, with that being said, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania identified the constable as police officer, and which identified me as a police officer because I was a constable. Okay? So the police term and the constable term in Pennsylvania are one and the same. Okay? So, that being said, someone had recently said to me that constables in New Jersey aren't recognized as police officers. That is irrelevant in my case, because I never said that I was a constable from New Jersey. It's irrelevant in my case because I never said I was a constable from New Jersey. Okay? It's out of control. Out of control. Okay? Right now, we are raising funds for me to go back to court on appeal. We're raising this appeal funding. The fee is $7,500. I did start a GoFund campaign. I think it's titled "Helping Stephen Wiggs Overturn a Bad Ruling." That's what it's titled. You know, I'm not really keen on asking for help financially from people. I did do a GoFund before, which helped raise funds to get me a regular lawyer because this is New Jersey. I'm not in Pennsylvania where my lawyers are within my reach from my agency. But New Jersey, we have a lawyer now, and he helped out in my case. And he's with me now. But at the same time, we need to go back to court because I was found, unfortunately, maliciously guilty and sentenced to a year probation. So they stuck this gun charge on me. They stuck this impersonating charge on me. Okay? So Pennsylvania, see, the only way I could be found in New Jersey for impersonating a public servant, found guilty for impersonating a public servant, or found guilty for impersonating a police officer, is if I wasn't a police officer from Pennsylvania. And this order from the judge at a Philadelphia County, and the dispositions, okay, these two documents clearly shows the state of New Jersey that I wasn't impersonating a police officer. Okay? It doesn't matter if a constable in New Jersey, a constable from New Jersey, is not a police officer. You can tell them that. You can tell them that all you want. I don't have nothing to do with them. Okay? I don't have nothing to do with them. And when somebody tries to throw around their opinions when it comes down to constables in Pennsylvania, guess what? Your opinions don't matter, because the law is perfectly clear. There is no gray area at all. Okay? So no one has the authority outside of Pennsylvania to state that constables are not police officers. In fact, no one in Pennsylvania at this current time has the authority to say that constables in Pennsylvania aren't police officers, because the laws are set in stone in statute, and then they are set in stone in case law, state case law, and federal case law. Okay, we got feds identifying constables as police officers, federal courts identifying constables in Pennsylvania as police officers. So therefore, no one opinion outside of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the federal, outside of the federal court system, has the authority to say that constables in Pennsylvania aren't police officers. Everyone else that wants to throw around their opinions is voided at this point. Okay? Everyone. So, this being said, man, I am a former police officer within the Pennsylvania State Constabulary. I never told the Sheriff's Department of Essex County, New Jersey, that I was a New Jersey constable. Okay? Who's the common denominator in this situation? The Pennsylvania State Police. Because after they lost against me, okay? After they lost against me, these documents that I printed out is where everybody can see. I posted it on these pages. I posted it on my YouTube channel. I posted it on my civilian page on Facebook, okay? And I posted it on my TikTok as well. I want the people to see what's going on here. Okay? New Jersey. I want you to look your Essex County Sheriff's Department and your Essex County Judicial System, your District Attorney's Office, and the judges in Essex County. I want you to look them in the eyes and ask them the questions. Who gave y'all the idea to charge this man with impersonating a police officer when he has clear identifying documents? These are documents. This is a Commonwealth seal here of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's Commonwealth seal. This is a court order from the judge out of Philadelphia County. Right now, I have case law set in Philadelphia County on the same charge that the Sheriff's Department of Essex County, New Jersey had hit me with. So if I set case law on the county level in Philadelphia County on impersonating, on identifying the fact that I was not impersonating a police officer, okay, there's only one way you could do that. You had to be the damn officer, man. There's only one way. That's the only way. And I went up against the state troopers twice. Okay? In that situation, I went up against them multiple times in other issues and always have came out on top of every issue. Okay? This is not a game. You know, I really need you guys to pay attention here. So The state of New Jersey, maliciously charged, convicted, and sentenced me to a year probation for impersonating a police officer and my firearms, and for carrying my gun, my service weapon. Okay? So I was asked to do this. I was asked to step through this real quick, man. You know, I have more documents here, but I just wanted to, like, you know, really kind of tap into this little location here, and really see if I could get something rolling here, man. Like, I need real people to pay attention to this, man. You got a corrupt system in New Jersey. I shouldn't be serving a year probation. I shouldn't have a criminal record. I shouldn't be charged, convicted, and sentenced for impersonating who I was. You know, like, I want people to get out of their feelings about constables being, whether constables are police officers or not. Because the police officers that you know, the uniforms that you are used to, guess what? The constables were policing the land way before those uniforms ever took root in the United States. So I really need you guys to, like, get out of your feelings about that, because the history of tradition, like these municipal police departments, they do not predate the constabulary. They do not. Okay? You know, constables, sheriffs, and marshals have been policing the land way before municipal police departments were formed in the United States. So, like, let's stop doing that and trying to hang this thing on this issue of whether or not your opinion trumps the history of law enforcement and the laws of the states here, man. Because realistically, if I wanted to tap into New Jersey, I can when it comes down to these laws. Because in the laws of New Jersey, it says the constables are police officers. And if a person is a peace officer, then they are a law enforcement officer in New Jersey. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So look, I want to drop it here. I hope everybody's listening. I pray that you guys help me out with going back to court and overturning this decision and righting these wrongs and showing these people that they cannot abuse the judicial system by finding a man, innocent of these ridiculous crimes. There's not one person out there that I've seen charged with impersonating a police officer and he or she actually fought back because they were actually guilty of it. I am fighting back. So help me fight back. Thank you.